It's Thursday, the 30th day of November. Hello and welcome to the newspaper review on Tab TV. My name is Sophie John, your host for today. In case you're just joining us for the first time and you're wondering what we do on the newspaper review, is a show where we get to look at news stories making the front page of Nigerian newspaper. We get to talk about them here and dissect them. And of course, I won't be doing this alone. I'm joined by a very amazing lady, and her name is Kosi. Kosi! Thank you for joining us on the show.
You're most welcome.
You look beautiful as usual.
When will you stop complimenting me? Not that I don't like it. I love you, but my head is getting bigger and bigger every day. And always look forward to your compliments.
I'm a sincere person. I must always say the truth.
You know you're not looking bad at all.
Oh, thank you very much. You know, the year is getting to an end. I was talking to one of my friends
Christmas is coming.
I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and she was like, "It's just like the year just started. Why is the year just running so quick?"
Running, okay, because you just have to. I don't know, but I just want. I don't know, but I just felt that this year really it rushed.
Yeah,
you understand? Because
to feel that it's not
just this today we entered 2023 and all
and now
that.
we are already in December.
But it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
First week of December, Christmas is
The end of the
coming.
year already.
But wait, are you perceiving the Christmas?
No, I can't see anything. It's like any other month. I feel like, you know, with the cost of transportation, before you start hearing people making plans, I'm going to travel on the 20 days, I'm going to travel on the 30 days, I'm going to travel on the 90 days.
That enthusiasm is not there again, you understand?
But you don't get to hear it. You know, I was talking to one of my friends too, and she was like, I want to travel, but I'm scared because of the level of insecurity in my place. And I was like, this is a very sad incident, because I remember back then, Nigerians
nothing like
so excited.
Nothing like being scared of traveling. All you have to do, especially it's this time of the year, or okay, by tomorrow it will be December, yeah, right? As I was growing up, that was how I was taught. We normally travel home, we meet people, we see our uncles, cousins, we cook it from the same pot, and to us we felt it's a way of bringing of growing the love and also bringing us together to know ourselves, you understand? And then we'll be like, brother, like, do Christmas for me, do Christmas for me, I do something. So
Why
then
not ask somebody to do Christmas for you? Get
the person will like say, you know, they like, you don't know what's happening here at the restaurant.
All right, without no further ado, we move over to our first newspaper of the day. We'll be looking at the Daily Trust newspaper, and it's leading. Security gets lion's share as Tinubu present 27.5 trillion naira budget. Sub-story under that, recurrent takes 18.5 trillion naira, capital 8.7 trillion naira. President wants proposals passed in 1 month. 87 trillion naira debt worrying, reduce it. That's according to the Senate President, Apabio. Past budget failed to meet expectations. That's according to Speaker. Budget estimates will bring economic depression, and that's according to the People's Democratic Party. They were trying to criticize President Bola Tinubu's budget, and you can find that all on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Abuja flight diversion to Asaba, controversies as dispatchers, controllers disagree. And that's on page 28 of the newspaper. Bandits kill 18 hunters in Taraba. And you can read that up on page 23 of the Daily Trust. Old new naira note remains legal tender. That's according to the Supreme Court. And you can read that up on page 6 of the Daily Trust. NSCDC personnel open fire on students in Abuja. And that's on page 8 of the Daily Trust. Denying us Kanu mandate will ignite crisis. NMPP tells ECOWAS, EU, UK, and US. And you can read that up on page 11 of the Daily Trust. 25 killed, 15 injured in Kwara road crash. And that's on page 27 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And that's all we're taking on the newspaper, because I would like your thought on the lead story. Security gets lion's share as Tinubu present 27.5 trillion naira budget.
All right, it's a welcoming development, considering the fact that the high rate of the insecurity in Nigeria is on the increase, and all hands has to be on the deck to orbit, you understand? But the problem is not just apportioning the biggest share to the security part, not just it. The main thing should be where are they going to use this? You understand? Because they can still apportion it and still not be able to use it. What are the agendas? The chief of staff should come out to tell us, look at what they are going to do it. You understand? Chief of staff for exactly. He should come out to tell us, this is our agenda, this is our plan, this is our proposal, this is why, or this is how we're going to make use of this money. We are buying how many CCTV cameras, and these are the strategic places it has to be mounted. We are buying armored car. You understand? For security, for tackling security, we are buying this. This is explosive. You understand? This is how they are going to tackle the major insecurity you have, which is the issue of Boko Haram, the unknown gunmen and all that. These are the things. These are our plans. Not just bringing out the money, because without having a clear plan of how they are going to make use of this money, the money will just go to waste or even enter into the hands of the wrong persons, and still leaving Nigeria as the states it was before, or even more difficult time as
if you
it is
notice,
now.
Kidnapping has been on a very high rise these days.
It's like a mantra. If you awake, not just it. Once you wake up and you open one of the news channels, you understand, something like AIT, you see how they'll be talking about how some persons were kidnapped, how this thing happened, how that happened. And a lot of deaths that could have been avoided. You understand? This security is too much that we Nigerians, we are trying to normalize, which is wrong, which is not something a developing country supposed to have accepted like that. You understand? They promise us that they are going to come in security. But before you apportion this lion's share to them, what are the proposals they've brought out to say, okay, this is our roadmap. This is what we are working with. That by 2024, we are coping, if the level of insecurity is something like 40%, we are coping it to 20%. And these are our plans. That's the problem Nigeria has. I always say it is lack of accountability. They can't come out to tell you, this is how we use this budget, this is how we use the money for, this is what we use it for. They just bring it and they said it's for security reason, nothing more, without giving us a detailed breakdown of how they use that money. And also, why I'm criticizing this, personally against this 2024 budget, is that it has a lot of it's kind of has a lot of budget, sorry, not budget actually, but figures that the figures there is much, and those figures are used mostly for the personnel officials, the officials luxury. You understand? It speaks more of their luxury. If you look at how can you apportion something like 1.9 trillion for SUV for first lady, the money they apportioned for government, for the running of government, is too much. The cost of running the government is too high.
Well, a lot of people have criticized the money apportioned for the first lady. Over to the they are coming from the angle that the position of the first lady is not constitutional. Exactly. Why would she be getting this when it's not constitutional? The first lady is just your wife. She doesn't have a constitutional role to play in Nigerian government. A lot of people have come from that angle.
That's the problem. Because what right do they have to own that? Just because you are the first lady doesn't give you that right to be entitled.
To be mentioned in Nigerian's budget. It's
not. The cost of running the government is too high. And look at what is happening now. The last time, I don't know, but I always liked making reference with what happened during the time of their visit at New York City, where they have to pay over $500,000 just for a hotel. 5 days hotel stay in a very luxurious hotel. These are not the things we Nigerians need. This is not what, as a country that claimed inherited a state, a country that is in debt. They said they inherited debt, right? But the budget, this thing they are making, the policies they are making is too luxurious. The main thing they are supposed to channel it at, the security, which is the best, and they have to give us a detailed breakdown of how they are going to curb this insecurity. Then education, they didn't do much about it. Education.
Although they brought out the student loan, there was provision for student loan.
Student loan, to me, is just a charade.
Oh, okay.
Is to me, it's like you brought. Ever since then, they've not. It has not been in full progress.
The president promised to kick off by January 2024.
January. That's before then. They said it will kick up. It will kick off on something like October, but nothing was done about it. And now they extended it to January. And that's student loan. To me, I just feel it's a charade. Why I said it's a charade is that the requirements they brought there is something that it won't favor everybody.
Okay.
You understand? If you're one of the requirements, if any of your parents is not into civil service work and all that, you are not entitled to it. If they are not earning below certain amount, they are not entitled to it. Forgetting that some people that are even earning more than the 30,000, let's just say maybe 30,000 is the normal distant prime money that your parents are supposed to be earning for you to be entitled to it. Forgetting that some persons that are even earning higher than that, they are still poor. You understand? And some persons, what if their both parents are dead? You understand? And that student loan, you are giving us loan with this level of inflation. You are giving a student loan, right? No interest, right? Which is good, but they've never thought how is this person going to pay back. You're just leaving school and you're inheriting debt. You understand? Because by the time you're handling the houses in schools and all that, which time will you have to be able to raise that money? 500,000 is too small for someone for a first year student. Because I know how much my parents paid just to see me in school. I know how much they pay just to see me through school. I know how much what they pay. Just house rent alone, I remember paying 150,000. Imagine okay, let's just calculate it. 4 years course for someone that is doing 4 years course, right? And that 4 years course paying, okay, let's just say 100,000 house rent, or even if you have to divide it. What about the feeding? What about the school fees? What about the renting? All these things inside the 500,000. Or are they going to use it to start? Am I using that 500,000 to start up a business in school? But na person wey shop first, na him go start up business. You understand? And even if you are to start up business, there's no business that you will start that will give you full time to that business without you being tossed around with school work, because I remember then I don't have time. I wasn't doing much. I wasn't working, but I don't have time for myself. Imagine going to lecture in the morning, coming back in the evening. By the time you are back, you are tired.
Yes.
When will you have the time to run the business? You understand? And for a business that is starting, you don't have to use people or employ people to start running it for you. Because you're starting, you've not even made any profit yet. So you see that this is the reason why I say it's a charade. You understand? And then coming back to the major things they're supposed to get their attention towards, the education sector, then the manufacturing sector. Our Nigerian-made product is going down. It's going down to the drain. What are the things they've put in place to say, okay, this is how we're going to improve the Nigerian-made products? What are the measures they are going to put in place to enlighten people that Nigerian-made products are the best? Because what the most Nigerian majority of Nigerians they have the mentality that once it's made in Nigeria, it's nothing, it's inferior. What are the things? How are they going to improve? How are they going to make Nigerians believe that Nigerian products are actually the best by producing quality and not quantity? Because that's the problem we're having. You are using a material that's supposed to produce 10, you are using it to produce 20. Just because you want to be sold, you understand? You want it to be sold out, thereby making it to be inferior.
Our government needs to invest more in our manufacturing industry. We
also
need to be producers.
Agriculture too. We are blessed with fertile lands. We are not in a desert. We have water.
Our insecurity are chasing some farmers out of their farms.
Farmland. You understand? But at least we should also enhance, because a lot of that's why the only thing one of the things I like about Buhari was that he made sure he closed down the border and made us to start eating Nigerian rice. Because then Nigerian rice is like it's full of sand. They don't like it. People don't. Me personally, I don't eat it. But it's the best rice to eat because it has taste. I don't know if you compare Nigerian rice and foreign rice, you see the difference. Even without adding salt inside the rice, white rice, it has its own taste. You see, it's the best. And because of that thing he did, it made Nigerian rice to start selling. And now they've increased it. Before I remember buying one bag of rice, 10,000. Now it's 55,000 Nigerian rice. You understand? So one thing is that we need to promote our own products. So in coming to this budget of Renew Hope, to me, I feel the things they are meant to have put there or channel their, more money there, it's not there. It's not there at all. Also, the health sector. Many hospitals have been closed down because of lack of funds. They need to increase. It was middle of this year that someone died inside an elevator in a hospital.
A doctor.
Was
a very sad story.
Someone that was doing her internship. A day that could have been avoided. These are the things they're supposed to have channel. Maintain it. Problem with Nigerians and problem with the government is that we lack maintenance. We don't maintain what we have. We don't. We see abroad people, we see how they are maintaining it. Once there is any hole, exactly. Once there is any hole on the road, they will come patch it up immediately. But Nigerian government will leave it until it must have damaged and caused more death before they can. Okay, maybe someone that is very kind-hearted, that maybe coming out for election and all that, will try to just do some philanthropist work.
That's the thing we see in our country over there.
So it's hard. It's
That's
hard.
Always what we see playing out. All right. We move over to our next newspaper of the day. We'll be looking at the Guardian newspaper, and it's leading again. Nigeria orders negotiate rights to just transition, and that's on page 6 of the newspaper. And it's talking about the COP28 summit in Dubai, the climate summit. I think President Tinubu is on his way to that summit. Fulfill your stance on federalism, Afenifere tells Tinubu, and that's on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. 14% Nigerian women experience physical violence. And you can read that up on page 4 of the Guardian. Provide 535.8 million naira school feeding details, court orders minister, and that's also on page 4 of the Guardian. More teaching hospital risks shut down over exodus of medical professionals, and that's on page 3 of the Guardian, and that's all we're taking on the newspaper. Because I would like your thought on this story on page 3. More teaching hospitals risks shut down over exodus of medical professionals. That's what you were talking about a few minutes ago. Our health sector
is going down.
Needs of improvement. Yeah.
It's going down.
Our doctors are not paid well. Just imagine investing 7 years of your life in school, studying for a profession, and you come out and you're underpaid, and you're handling a vital part of humans, our health. And it's funny how our politicians, they don't seek treatment here in the country.
Because
they
they
go
know
outside.
they don't trust the education system in Nigeria.
I remember
it's
when
a clear
Yaradua
definition.
was sick. I remember when Yaradua was sick, all his treatment was outside the country.
Even
I
when
remember when
Buhari
Buhari
was
went
sick.
for an ear something
Even
outside the
our
country.
current president, when he was sick, he had to go
Outside the
outside.
country. So
What?
funny. So who are our hospitals for? Who exactly?
For
are
the
they
poor masses. So it's none of their business. That's the problem we Nigerians are having. Because even the politicians don't have they don't have any belief in the country. They don't have any belief in the education system. Because you can't handle them. It's not possible. With the poor hospital facilities, you want them to go and lie down there. Why? For what? Forgetting that they are meant to improve these hospitals. They are meant, just because they are not using it doesn't mean that they should leave it to die because they are not using it. That's the mentality of Nigerian government. You understand? As a leader, they say lead by example. But look at what's happening. Majority of these government officials, they can't treat themselves in Nigeria. It's not possible. Because they want the best. They always even say that Nigeria doesn't have the best. They want the best, so they go outside to get the best.
Just imagine that Senator Ekweremadu, when he had that whole kidney saga with his daughter. Just imagine he had hospitals in his constituency that was okay. It would have been a different story.
They wouldn't even have talked about it because he would have gotten away with it.
Not like we are supporting what he did. Not like we are supporting.
No, he would have gotten away with the crime he committed.
Not like we are supporting it, but we are saying if there was at least good hospitals in those places, he wouldn't have had to go so far. He wouldn't have had to spend so much.
It's not just it. He wouldn't have even been caught because we don't have a very organized system. We don't. And that's another problem when Nigeria has. We don't. We're just living.
So I saw this article where someone was actually complaining. I think he's a professor in the University of Port Harcourt. He was complaining how doctors are leaving Nigeria every day, and how some African countries, the Nigerian economy is better than pay doctors way higher.
Exactly. You are right. And also, if you look at what's happening now, most doctors, they don't care. Once you are being offered what they are paying you, more than what you are paying you, they are good to go. Not just even more than some of them, even when they are being offered what they are paying, because they know that once they leave the shores of Nigeria, their life is going to be okay. Being a professional. And the way they take them in there, you know that Nigerians, we have brain. Despite the poor system in the education, you still see that we still have something upstairs. And they are being rushed over there. UK government, every year, they provide a professional course exam that they take. Once they take it, you are entitled to come over there. And that's why that's the only medium, or that's the fastest medium. Most of these doctors leave Nigeria. That's the fastest, because I remember talking to a doctor friend of mine. So he was saying that he would just say, please, I can't wait to just leave Nigeria. I can't wait. I'm writing the professional course exam next month, and I can't wait to leave. You see, even as he was even talking, you see that he has no love for his country. Whether they are dying or not, it's none of his business. But I won't blame him, because you can't, when even the leaders are not encouraging, they are not helping matters, they want to receive treatment, they are moving outside because they don't have faith in the system, without thinking that charity begins at home. You need to organize your home first before going outside. But they know they can't do that. And now most of them, they will leave. And the ones by the time even I saw one article like that one certain time. They said before they will mash up the number of people or the thousands of Nigerian doctors that has left the country, that it's going to take them 10 years. You understand? So you see that, imagine because of lack of doctors, one person is handling something that 3 or 4 persons are supposed to handle. How would the person do it? Even during the time they are doing strike and all that, they wanted their pay and all that to increase. They even had to come out. They said that, imagine you are in surgery room, performing operation and all that, only for the doctor to faint. And the doctor will become the patient. So you see that the health sector is going down, and this is what they are supposed to channel to. These are the things they are supposed to improve. And this the paramount. These are the sector that are paramount. Exactly.
All right, we go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll take our last newspaper of the day. So stay tuned.
Hey there. Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Welcome back. We'll take our last newspaper of the day. We'll be looking at the Daily Independent newspaper, and it's saying alleged 1.6 billion naira fraud 7 days after 300 million naira bail. Emefiele still in prison. And that's on page 7 of the newspaper. Court orders minister to explain how 535 million naira was spent on school feeding during lockdown. And you can read that up on page 4 of the newspaper. Amnesty International says Tinubu has failed to uphold human rights. And that's on page 7 of the Daily Independent. Deputy Governor Aye Datiwa returns to Ondo to preside over cabinet meeting. And that's on page 6 of the Daily Independent. Brown Code Association kicks as United Nigeria suspend flight dispatcher. And that's on page 6 of the newspaper. I really want to talk about this funny incident that happened.
It's really very funny. It's for you to a very funny one, because for a country like Nigeria, this is the first time I'm hearing such thing. How is it possible?
But and people were saying the thing has been happening. It's just this one that was blown out.
Seriously.
They said something, this kind of things have been happening.
And you know, it's the boldness of the flight attendants as we are about to touch down. Only for them to come out. You know how they normally do, tighten up your seat belt, we are landing down, this one and all that. And in the next 5 minutes we'll be landing, and we'll be entering Abuja. You understand? And it's the way they even say they are entering Abuja. Because the flight was made to it took off. It took off from Lagos and was meant to land in Abuja, but it mistakenly landed in Delta, Asaba. And
it changed road. The road was bad.
The problem, they even said they even had to call the arrival. That's even another issue. You know, as if a plane is entering or landing, they'll have to call arriving of so code number of the plane is arriving in next 10 minutes and all that. For you to see that it's professional. Because now it's a waste.
Yes, it is.
Because they'll have to take them back. Because you don't tell me that after paying how many thousand. Because now flight tickets is
so they have suspended their flight dispatcher.
They'll have to take them. It's not. They'll have to because you don't tell me after paying such amount only for you to tell me that I'll have to pay on that one. It's not possible. So the loss will go to them.
Still on the newspaper, again, CBN asks banks to issue accept old redesigned Naira note. I'll take that again. Again, CBN asks banks to issue accept old redesigned Naira note. And that's on page 7 of the Daily Independent. Tinubu's 2024 budget deceptive, strangulating and hopeless. That's according to the People's Democratic Party, trying to play their opposition role. Criticizing Tinubu's renewed budget.
It's normal.
It's quite expected. All right, that's all we're taking on this newspaper, because I would like your thoughts on the story on page 7 concerning the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, alleged 1.6 billion naira fraud. 7 days after 300 million bail, Emefiele still in prison.
Firstly, even because as of this November, the court actually released him on a bail of 300 million, right?
Okay.
And he has to bring 2 sureties that will stand in for him in case he runs away or something like that. And after paying the money, still they've not released him. Don't you think that it shows that the verdict of the court is not appreciated here?
Okay.
They have not been heard. Because the Chief Justice of Nigeria said something the other day. He said that the court, the judiciary system needs autonomy. They need to be autonomous. They need to act without being scared of anything. They need to be heard. They need to deliver judgment without being scared or being harassed by the federal or the state. You understand? So you see that in a country that doesn't value the rule of law, that country is nothing. We are practicing democracy. It's funny how they only apply it when it's in their favor. It's funny how, because I remember during the tribunal case and all that, after the election and all that, when the court declared that the APC, that they are the winner and all that, I remember how they came out to say that the opposition parties, they should calm down, they should join forces with them, that they should adhere to the court's decision, that the court has the final say. But the way they don't put it when it comes to this is something I don't understand. It's only when it's in their favor. That's when they will gladly remember or interpret the law. You understand? And I just feel that the court, the judiciary system in Nigeria is not well appreciated. They are just there. That's why you see most lawyers, they are charge and bail lawyers. After spending how many years in school, they are not being appreciated. Do you know, if these lawyers, Nigerian lawyers, have this opportunity the medical medical doctors or people in medical line has, I am very sure that they will leave. The way they will leave Nigeria, you see that we have few lawyers, and this is how they will be complaining of brain draining. You understand? And in terms of this Emefiele, they've already given order. Release him. He has already paid the 300 million. Release him. He has already brought his 2 shorties. Why are they still holding him? And they've also adjourned the case, because he pleaded not guilty. He said he's not guilty of the crime they're accusing him of. 1.6 billion naira fraud. That he's not guilty of it. You understand? And they've adjourned his case to January 18. So let's wait and see what will happen on.
Let's wait and see how that plays out. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of this exciting episode of the newspaper review on TAP TV. I still remain your host, Sophie John, and I didn't do this alone. I was joined by a very amazing young lady, Kosi. Thank you for joining us on the show once again.
Thank you so much.
All right, you too can also be a part of the show. Remember to follow, connect, and engage with us on all our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, and of course, we're on Twitter, now known as X. Do well to connect and engage with us. Till we meet again tomorrow, stay safe.